Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while since I recorded an episode for my podcast. Really, the first episode was just a pilot. I was just trying to see how things would go. And, well, yeah, I was recording. Sorry, my phone went off for a bit. Just wanted to be sure if we're still recording. So, the first episode was just a pilot, and I wanted to know how successful or otherwise it would be. But really, more than that, whether or not I'd be interested in doing this long term. Because really, I could do something and it would be really great, but if I don't care about it, I'll just stop. Because, I think personally, I don't see the point in doing something, even if you're so good at it, but you don't really care about it. Unless, it's a life situation in which you have to put your own personal position aside, and maybe it's something that you need to do to make money, so you need to do it to keep some cash coming in. So even if you don't like it, you're just gonna have to grit your teeth and keep doing it. That's what being responsible means. So anyway, why am I doing this, recording this second episode? Obviously from the title you'd know. Well, UTAG is on strike. UTAG is on strike. They're striking. They're Spartans striking. So I don't know how many people are fully aware of the situation and fully understand what's going on. But there is a bit of an impasse between UTAG and the National Labor Commission, NLC. If you don't know any or everything that happened before the impasse, which really was reached last Friday after the meeting. Basically, for a number of months now, UTAG has been threatening to strike. Last year they did briefly, but then it was called off. They had a meeting with government, and then they had that 1 month period of negotiation, which came to absolutely nothing. Surprise, surprise. And then Professor Ransford Jampo said famously on Good Evening Ghana, for those of you who don't know, I volunteered there, and it was different hearing him say it. At the time, the semester hadn't ended, so that was 2020-2021, second semester, or at least for the second track. And he said, if no agreement is reached with government, we, the lecturers, will go home and we will not come back again. Or he will go home and we will not return. He thought he was just talking, eh? Here we are today. So since 10th of January, there's been the strike. And University of Ghana, I'm in University of Ghana, so largely this would be around University of Ghana, the situation there. I've forgotten when exactly school resumed. I think the 16th or so. And it's like a lot of people, you see, this is a really funny thing. A lot of people thought the strike was something that didn't concern them when they said the lecturers were striking. They behaved like it didn't concern them. Like when last Monday came, this past Monday, they would have just gone for their lectures and then life would continue. They didn't take the strike seriously. It's like people were joking, thinking it was funny. They didn't understand the gravity of the situation. Like, you thought when Monday came, you would just go for your lectures and then the whole strike will vanish and then your life will continue. No. Your plans have been thrown in the gutter. These people are ready to strike. These people are ready. Do you know that somewhere in the late 20th century, there was a strike that went about a year? Students stayed at home for about a year. Your lecturers and your parents were in that group. So they're very resolute. There's precedents for this. Some of them are ready to be fired, as Professor Jamford himself has said. If some people are ready to be sued on account of this, and there's that issue, one of the reasons for the impasse. Some of them are ready to even lose their jobs. But that's the protection that the union provides. When you are unionized, when you take certain industrial actions, you have a bit more protection versus if it's just a group of lecturers saying they're on strike. They just terminate them or replace them. But when you have the entire nation's teaching force, you can't just fire all of them. So that's the protection that unions offer. So for those who don't really understand the situation right now, since last Friday, the impasse is the National Labour Commission is saying that UTAG strike is illegal because they do not follow all the due protocols in or required in the embarking on that strike. And UTAG says no, that's false. They did embark on all the required processes and follow all the due protocols. And National Labour Commission is saying that they did not properly table all their concerns before them. So some of the reasons for which they have gone on strike were not formally tabled before the National Labour Commission. So technically, they are not allowed to use those things as justification for being on strike. UTAG says we did table them before you, even though you actually inconvenienced us and made it difficult for us to table them before you, saying that NLC used certain delay tactics to make it impossible for them to frustrate their presentation of these issues. So UTAG is saying we did actually table everything. So every single thing for which reason we are on strike has been presented to you. NLC says we disagree. Your strike is illegal. UTAG says no, our strike is legal. So right now that's where we are. Not okay. We understand that we see since that agreement made in 2013. Let's go back and forth and see how we can agree on what you will take, or maybe what you want is a bit more than we can provide you, so maybe we can offer this instead of that. No, that's not where we are right now. Where we are right now is your strike is illegal, call it off. So if you don't take those of us in our final year, when we get our degree, oh god, it's been over 6 years. I just want to get this degree and move on to important things. Okay, some of us, university is far behind us, but because we started school late, we're still in the system. And now this strike nonsense has come to further complicate our lives. We want to do fast and get out of Ghana. Anyway, so that's where we are. And it was really, really funny seeing continuing students of all people reporting and then especially taking this strike so flippantly, like it was no matter. And I was very, very amused when I went to the university to just see what was going on, to check out the situation and to do my registrations, just in case. You never know, this will surprise you. You blink and then the strike has been called off and then you've not done anything, you make bazaar, you are now scrambling to do everything. So I went to make sure all my registrations were in order. And I saw a number of people had moved on, not just level 100s. Level 100s, like I said, yeah, that one you understand. Level 100, you are John. You are everywhere. But to see continuing students moving back onto campus, I'm like, you people are behaving like level 100s. Like, continuing students of all people should know better. The teachers are on strike and you are moving on campus because unless maybe you have money and you are rich the way we are not rich, so you can come and afford to be spending money eating on campus and then spending your resources using your provisions and things when you know that there's not going to be any teaching and learning. You should know better. So seeing continued students behaving like level 100s coming on campus, which reminds me of that video I saw a friend recorded. Level 100s moving into Benson Saba Annex C, and then someone was carrying teddy bear. Anyway, I can't judge because when I came my first year, I also did some things like that. I brought 2 pillows. One for my head and the other one for... Never mind. But teddy bear. Anyway, just give them time. At the end of the first semester, she will just send the teddy bear home and she won't bring it back. So that's where we are. And I think that it's very, very important that a lot of our people, especially the final years, take this opportunity to just get some work experience. Because the reality is, you want to do Takashi and get your degree and get out, but you get the degree, and then if you don't take care, you struggle progressing in life. For at least after national service, and here, what money will national service give you? Which experience will national service give you? Which work experience? I mean, what can you put on it? You go and then you wear suit at 9 and they're sending you to buy cocoa, 80 pesos. So you should use this time right now to try and get work experience and different things and teach yourself skills. Because the degree right now is like just a piece of paper. Honestly. In many ways. I mean, in some ways you're gonna need it. In some other ways, it's like you get it, then you put it in your back pocket and you're gonna hustle like you don't even have any education, and then you build from the ground up anyway, even with your degree. But I mean, look, just final years, very, very important. If you've never done any kind of internship, nothing like that, this is the time to get something to put on your CV. Very, very important. Let's take advantage of that. I remember I was speaking with my lecturer, one of my lecturers, the HOD for my main department, and he was saying we have an internship. It's a compulsory internship. It's a course, 6 credits. And we're supposed to finalize some things. And I called him to ask what the situation was. Because at the time we hadn't heard anything. We knew there was a strike, and obviously if there's a strike, we need the lecturers to supervise. So if they're not supervising, then there's no internship. He said, if the lecturers don't call off the strike, you check like the graduation akasa, you file me. So that's where we are. To continue students who are not in 400, so the 200s, the 300s, you guys should also be very, very intentional about getting work experience in many ways, and be intentional about preparing yourselves. Like, use this time. I mean, honestly, I posted on my WhatsApp status some weeks ago that after COVID and UTAG part 1, or UTAG chapter 1, UTAG chapter 2. This is UTAG chapter 2 verse 2. If after all this, you don't have any kind of work experience, you don't have any marketable skills, you've not done anything, then you need lashes. Because COVID-19 pretty much kept us at home for like, what, a year? And then UTAG has... I can't, it's like my heart is not... I get really frustrated when I think about the fact that my degree is being held hostage. Came out of high school in 2016. It's not university that I should be thinking about right now. I should be trying getting some. And the whole PhD thing, I think everybody knows, like, I publicized this, that I want to go into academia. Right now, seeing what the lecturers are doing, it's making it look very, very unattractive. Or if I'll teach, then, I don't know, it's making this whole thing look really unattractive. Because I'm going to spend 10 years of my life. The degrees too, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. And then you come and then you are fighting with government every few years. Well, they're saying that, Professor Jampu told me that they're fighting so that people like me, when we go into the field, will have better conditions of service. Well, I don't know. It's not just about the salaries, honestly, because I'm studying education. They're teaching us how to teach. I think a lot of our lecturers are teaching subjects, but then they don't know how to teach also. They know what they're teaching, but then they don't know how to teach what they're teaching. So at the Department of Education, in the College of Education, that's one of the things we do. And I look at the standards in the University of Ghana and many other universities, and I don't think I want to teach under these conditions, because you have extreme student to lecturer ratios. All these things affect your efficiency. You know, then the logistics aren't there and all that. So I don't know if I want to teach at all, because it's like everywhere you go, it's the same problem. 700, 800, 1,000, 1,200 students to one lecturer. Hey, I think, which teaching can you do when they've given you 700 students? It's not right. There are too many things that are wrong. But the way I look at things, Charlie, it's our country, and we have to find a way to help. I know it's a lot of people who know me will be like, look at you saying this. All you care about is money. but if we want what we have to be competitive globally, we're gonna be the ones to have to do it. And because we're the ones who do it, like, if we succeed, obviously we'll be the ones in the way. So the immediate beneficiaries. It's just that, Charlie, a lot of the work looks very unattractive, and you do it, and then so many things stand in your way. But I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted to do this. Should I tell you the time? Sure. It's 4:20 right now, 4:20 a.m. I have church later today, but I've not been able to sleep, because nowadays, I don't know if it's because of my wickedness or my house people, or I can't sleep. I have difficulty sleeping nowadays, so I use it to do productive things, like get some work done, or exercise or whatever. But nowadays I can't sleep. It's very strange. I usually don't have trouble sleeping. The last time I had trouble sleeping was when I was a child, many years ago. Now my insomnia has come back. That's why at 4:20 a.m. I'm here recording a podcast instead of getting sleep. because I'm going to need my energy throughout the day. But the house people said that Michael-Angello won't sleep, so that's what's going on right now. Anyway, I'm sure you enjoyed this. I will try to be more consistent with this because it's talking and communication is one thing I'm really passionate about. If I don't do the whole lecture, PhD descent, trust me, the way it's looking unattractive, I will. I love this. I love the idea of talking, interacting with people, engaging people. I mean, I think I mentioned in my first podcast episode, the reason I started this was because my boss, Mr. Adomotri, told me to train my voice to make it more discernible, because apparently it's hard for people to hear me when I talk. So that's why I started this, but I've always had other things. I like other things I want to discuss and analyze and talk about. It's just that some things are stressed. That's why since that time I've not recorded again. But I mean, excuses. Honorable George Lowe, former member of parliament, told me that as for excuses, we can give them till the sun goes down. If you want to do something, do it. Just do it. Make the time for it, because most of the time there won't be any time. You have to make the time. So that's a principle that I follow. But it helps when you have fewer things on your plate, because when you prioritize, certain things will go off. Like this, it was not really a priority. I want to graduate with the first class. I want to make money and things. So you balance all of that, and then you see certain things are not as important as others. But I want to do this because my interest in the whole communication thing is growing, and it's great to have. And now it's there to train my voice. I've noticed even with my sexy voice like this, it needs training because you need consistency. Sometimes you're talking, you're really enthusiastic, and then particularly because I can talk very fast. So like all these things help with training, and also because it's good to have a body of work. So anyway, yeah. The point here is, it looks like we might not be going to school for some time now because government does not necessarily want to give UTAG what they're asking for, which I think is very fair because it's not any strange thing. It's something that they and government agreed on, even though it was about 7, 8, 9 years ago, but it was agreed on. That's the point. And unfortunately, it sounds like a lot of money because our currency has depreciated over time. At the time, it wasn't so extreme. Right now, our currency is crap. So it sounds like 12,000 cedis. Why are you asking for 12,000 cedis as a lecturer? Well, there was a time when it wasn't 12,000 cedis. Anyway, so use the time to do profitable things. Like honestly, because we know that this might be for a long time. The strike and Gaza. So try and get yourself engaged gainfully. Teach yourself skills. Get an internship. Get a job. Get something going on. Move out of Legon campus. Get serious. You're not level 100s. Lecturers are on strike. What are you doing living in the hall? Get out of there. Go and make money. Or if you live there, if you're going to keep your things in the hall, then don't be sleeping there the whole day. Go and work. You're not in level 100. You already know what the university feels like. You don't like it. You don't care about it. So get out of there. Leave it for the level 100s who are now coming to explore and ask foolish questions.
Please, can you combine law with
JQB?
Medicine?
Please direct me to Lesia. That's Anyway, you guys take care. Ish. I am cursing on a Sunday morning. May God forgive me. Right, guys, take care.
Когда эти пацаны посчитать потери, суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени, заливаю лик, поцелуй на шею. Капли дома, правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, стены горят. Мог тебя взять, но ты не моя. Когда эти пацаны посчитать потери, суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один, прогуляюсь без тени, заливаю лик, поцелуй на шею. Капли дома, правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, стены горят. Мог тебя взять, но ты не моя. в аду. Твои мозги затупились к утру. Так дайте пацанам посчитать потери. Суммы нули погибают на сцене. Снова один прогуляюсь без тени.